Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you're tuning in. It's your sis Moon Magic, and welcome back to a little tea and tarot time. I hope you have your drink, whatever your preference of drink is. I got the tarot ready. We're about to dive into all of the energy that's happening right now. Check in with one another and just tap into our intuition. If you're new here, my name is Moon Magic. I'm an artist and a tarot reader, and I do these videos monthly. I used to do it weekly over on my Instagram live, and I've been doing it monthly the last maybe since 6 months or so. And we're going to go ahead and dive into the energy. Trust that if you are here, this is exactly what you need to hear. Always take what resonates and leave the rest. This is an opportunity for us to check in with one another for anything that's going on in your life, anything that is on your heart. My goal and intention is to create this community and space here for each other where you can share down below, connect with others in the comments. I love reading your comments. I love hearing what's going on in your world. And I get to share a little bit about what's going on in my world. And then we're going to dive into the tarot, dive into the energy that's happening right now. And no matter when you watch this video, my intention is always that this is applicable for you to wherever you are in your journey. And just vibe with our intuition and see what comes out. Talk a little bit about different symbols and symbology that we see as we're going through the cards. So yeah, check in. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing? It's good to see you all. I'm super grateful to be here and be back at it. I'm a little bit late on getting the video done, but it's been a very, very busy last couple weeks. We had some friends who are staying over here the past week and events that were going on, and I went back to school, y'all. I'm going back to school, taking a couple classes specifically on audio engineering and music composition, which is really exciting because I'm a primarily self-taught artist and have been, professionally performing since 2018. Tail end of 2017. But it feels really good to be able to get some of that kind of education background to really solidify some of those skills and just being able to really fill in the gaps and build confidence in areas that I feel like I already know well. So that's been really exciting. School just started back up. And I was teaching a music program as well at my old school that I used to teach full-time at, but the music program just got taken over by an outside company, so I will no longer be teaching that program. But that had been really fun this past couple months, just being able to really engage with the kids in this music program and share my love of music in that way with others is definitely something that always makes me really happy to be able to do. And I have a new project coming out, y'all. September 16th is my new project that's dropping called Moving Different. I am most likely going to be dropping it on Bandcamp first, and then when distribution and everything clears, it'll be out on all platforms. I already have some really amazing visuals that are in the vault for you all, as well as some exclusive merch. I'm going to be dropping some keychains that will be available for those who want to purchase and support me as an artist, and on there will be a QR code with some exclusive content. So once all those items are ready, I'm going to share them more here as well on the Patreon. If you're interested in joining our Patreon, you can find the link below down there. I do a tarot reading for the highest tier of the Patreon. You get an individualized tarot reading, but it's actually completely free to join the Patreon. It's a community similar to this where we get to engage and vibe with one another, and it's a little hub for us to be able to connect and really just make sure you're not missing anything, as well as you can post questions and all that kind of good stuff. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out down below. What other updates have been going on in my world? A lot of things moving when it comes to just transitioning into this new period with school, which I spoke about a little bit, and just really finding some clarity. Although this, I don't know about y'all, but this lunar eclipse, I'm filming this actually on September 8th, so I've definitely been feeling it. And it's really interesting because I usually do this video before I start pulling for my clients on the Patreon who get the individualized reading. And I actually did the individualized readings first, and then I went back and I'm doing this video now. And before I went online and saw anything about the energies of the lunar eclipse, I kept seeing a lot of shadow energy, shadow cards, shadow magic coming through in a lot of the individual readings that I was doing for clients. And that's definitely been, I feel like, a theme that I'm also seeing a lot of other tarot readers and intuitives talk about for this lunar eclipse time. And almost as soon as like the 6th roll around, yeah, the 6th, 7th, and even on honestly the tail end of last week, I can definitely feel a lot of that shadow energy coming out. And you know, sometimes it can be pretty overwhelming for me, to be honest. I love shadow magic in the sense of I love that what it teaches us. I love the lessons that it encourages us to integrate, but at the same time, it can be really difficult when we're embracing and working with our shadows. And especially when we're in situations where we feel like the stakes are high, or where, you know, you want to do your best or you want to do better, but that shadow or those parts where you fall short keep kind of bringing you back down, I would, so to speak. And not because you're not acknowledging it, but just because that's the reality of parts of who you are. And so that can sometimes be really difficult to navigate, especially if you are someone who's does the work and tries your best to do the work and is willing to do what it takes to work with that shadow. You can't get rid of it still, you know what I mean? So it can be difficult, even despite all the work that you've done, to still be like, man, okay, there's this part of me that I have to accept and love, and that's all part of it, you know? So definitely let me know if you guys have been feeling this shadow energy, the shadow work, all that kind of stuff. I've definitely been feeling it. What else is going on in my world over here? I'm trying to think. Like I say always, I don't really plan on what I'm going to come on here and talk about. When we used to do this live, you know, I would be able to see what comments or questions you guys had. Definitely let me know if you have any questions or comments for me down below. Maybe I'll be able to talk about it in the next video. But yeah, aside from getting ready to release new music and working on new music and going back to school for music and all those kinds of things, that's a lot already. So, you know, the only other update I do have is that I do have a show coming up this Saturday. It's a killer pre-show. MC Super Nat is going to be there. I'm going to be there, and a bunch of other really dope artists. So if you are in the Bay Area and you see this video, come out this Saturday. It's going to be at the Oasis, the Llama Shack in Oakland, and the Tea Tribe is going to be servicing us with tea. There's going to be some goodies, good food by Soul Good Entertainment, and a bunch of other really amazing stuff. And I also have a show coming up with Marvelous, the Legend, on September 27th, which I'm really excited for too, in the Bay. I think it's in Vallejo. I gotta check the location, but I'm about to post that because the flyer just got finalized. So all of those good information will be down below at my website, www.moomagicflows.com. Would love to come see you guys at a show. Since for those who've been around, you know that I'm primarily an artist, and for those who are new, welcome. I am a tarot reader, but I'm also an artist, and that is my main form of channeling, so to speak. All right, I think that's pretty much it for updates. I think I'm going to go ahead and hop right into the reading. I don't have my sound bowl, and, you know, haven't really been using it too much this past couple months as I do my readings. But I have this like really nice soothing mist here with lavender and chamomile, and I'm gonna spray some of this, and then you can just visualize the nice lavender smell and opening your heart space and just grounding yourself, inviting you to put your feet on the ground if you feel comfortable or able to, sitting up straight, taking a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, just giving us an opportunity to ground in, check in with ourselves. And if you have any intention or something that's on your heart, now would be a good time to bring it to the surface and ask that Spirit speak directly to what is on your heart today. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And if nothing's on your heart today, this is a great time to just open yourself to the messages that are meant for you, asking for that discernment so that you hear the right messages and know what's for you and what's not for you. Asking your angels and guides, whatever it is that you pray to or believe in, to come into this space and speak directly into your spirit in a good way. And so it is. Last deep breath in and out. Like to do little stretchy stretches after too. Got me feeling real good. All right, if you want to grab a journal, if you haven't grabbed your drink, you can grab your drink. But aside from that, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. All right, let's go ahead and start with the energy. What is it that Spirit wants to talk about right now in this moment for the collective? Ooh, Knight of Rods. I heard immediately, keep the vision strong, keep the vision strong, keep the vision strong. Very clear, actually, this message. Wow, just with this one card, it spoke very clearly. And I'll let you see the Knight of Rods. Let me know down below, what does your intuition see when you see this card? I always say I love hearing what sticks out in the cards to those who are watching and receiving the reading. To me, tarot reading is a reciprocal practice. The person receiving the reading is just as important as the person who's giving the reading. And it's really this like reciprocal exchange. So if you see something sticking out to you in this card, let me know. But immediately as this card came out, the first thing I thought about was about this practice that a good friend of mine has been sharing with me about holding the vision for the highest outcome despite the circumstances and challenges that are in front of you. I feel like this immediately could be really good advice or really good energy to focus on, something to hold in your heart during this time period, especially during this eclipse time period, and especially if you're feeling a lot of shadows coming up or anything like that. And I am interested in seeing how like the mountains are in the background here and they're kind of moving towards this mountain, but it's in the background. It's a long journey ahead. This isn't something that, you know, you can just clear out today. Oh, my shadow's gone. You know, like I said, your shadows will always be a part of you, but we can learn to work with them instead of having them work against us, and learn to befriend it and see the medicine that's in it. But immediately when I saw this card, the Knight of Rods, the first thing I heard was holding the vision for the highest outcome during this time period. All right, what else do you want to speak about, Spirit? Three of Rods. Now, to me, it was reverse. I don't know if it's upright or downright. Maybe you can decide which of this messages fits for you. But it definitely feels, and this is a message that came out for one of my clients this past month as well, like being the vision that came through, and I'm going to share it here too because this is what's coming through with this card, was the feeling of like you're knowing you have to leave somewhere but you're not there yet. You know, it's like when your friend and you spend this really amazing weekend together and you're like in this energy of this amazing weekend, and then you say your goodbyes and you drop them off at the airport and you can kind of see them in the distance walking off, and it's like that in between, that moment of them leaving out of the car, but you still see them in the distance, so you're still kind of in that energy. But it's like as soon as they leave and you can't see them anymore, all of a sudden you're in your own energy and things start shifting and the energy feels a little bit different, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm back to just being by myself, and this energy is now shifted, right? Another way I was explaining this analogy, sorry, is the feeling of like you're on a cliff and you jump off the cliff but you haven't hit the water yet, so it's like you're flying or falling, and you're in between of like not exactly knowing what the impact is yet when you hit the water, but you can't go back, you're not exactly on the cliff anymore, right? It's this in-between type of energy where you haven't exactly had the transition come full circle yet, but you are seeing glimpses of it or in the in-betweens. It's also given the feeling of kind of feeling caught on a cog, like your pant leg getting caught on a lever or something, and it's like you can't move the lever forward because it's caught, but you can't move back because your old pants are caught. But either way you look at this energy, it's this feeling of being like not quite coming or going, but in the in-between of coming and going. It's like that traveling, but the energy hasn't completely shifted. It's still in this kind of in-between space. But the message that's coming out clearly with the Three of Rods here and the Knight of Rods for me is this feeling of like holding the vision is so important right now, because there is a new beginning and there is a clear ending that is happening and coming. And the more that you hold that vision, the more that can pour into your life in the way that you want it to, in the way that is for your highest good. I mean, I think things, always happen for our highest good, but we can definitely feel better while it's happening if it's not feeling like it's our highest good, if that makes sense. And sometimes there are things that happen that we just don't understand and may never understand, that will never be good, but holding that vision can help us through that time period, is what Spirit is showing right now. What else do you want to talk about? Page of Rods. Yes, I feel like this is all very Rods energy, very much about holding the vision, speaking prayers out loud during this time period, prayers of protection for yourself, prayers of protection on what it is that you are building and have been building. I wouldn't necessarily say, people say sometimes to not manifest during the eclipse or work on manifesting. That's up to you and how you feel personally. I would see this more as just like speaking on this energy, not ignoring it, not just like, oh, if I just hold my breath and get through this time period, it will be better. It's like, no, let's acknowledge where things are falling apart. Let's acknowledge where our shadow is coming out. Let's ask for help. Let's surrender to the divine. Let's talk to the divine about it. Let's speak to that vision that we're holding in our heart and in our mind, and allow it to be spoken in a way that directs that energy but doesn't force that energy, if that makes sense. And then we also have the magicians on the back reverse, so it's very much a holding the vision without forcing the vision, holding the highest outcome, but still allowing yourself to flow with what's coming, still allowing yourself to adjust, still allowing yourself to learn and observe what's right in front of you and what wants to be seen. Interesting. Let me know if there's anything that you see down below that I didn't mention. What sticks out to you here? I feel like I should pull one more card and see what comes out. Knight of Cups. And know your worth, baby. Know your worth. Sometimes, look, Knight of Pentacles, sometimes the best thing to do is to, I don't want to say do nothing, but to take a step back, and instead of, feeling like, if it is like, for example, your shadows or parts of yourself that is, you feel like you want to fix, so to speak, and you can't fix it all, and it makes you think that something's wrong with you, or that you're not enough, or all those things that it can lead to. Sometimes the best thing to do is just pull your energy back. Pull your energy back and remember what it is that you have to offer to the world. And what it is that you have to offer isn't separate from your shadow. You know what I mean? We are whole people in their totality, and good and bad, and all of everything. We can always work on ourselves for infinite years, but we will never be quote unquote perfect, right? So sometimes just taking a step back and allowing yourself to feel your own energy and feel your own beauty and feel your own worth, and remember what it is that you have to offer. And it's almost like, don't give this more attention than it deserves in a negative way, if that makes sense. You're seeing it for what it is. You're acknowledging it. You're working with it. We're not ignoring it. We're not taking accountability. But at the same time, we're speaking on and shifting our focus and holding the vision of what is to come. And I hope that makes sense. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling some oracle cards and see what comes out for the oracle cards. And I hope this message finds you well and really helps you wherever you are in your journey. I want to thank you so much for spending some time with me this beautiful day. And let's see what the oracle cards have to say. Some little advice, some extra love messages for you. We have the God. Sorry. I always like, it's so funny because I don't know, I'll probably say this a million times, but I always like get like super jazzed, or just like the energy is so hilarious to me where like, you know, I feel like it's just so interesting how like spirit is just so great. Look, this is Goddess of the Shadow. You know what I mean? This is definitely like, I shuffled it right here. This is what came out. It chose to come out right now. So it's like just so confirming of the messages that I was speaking. It says, Goddess of the Shadows, what you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. Yes. It's like going back to that page of wands. It's like when you start giving this shadow or this thing more like anxiety, or more, what's the right word? Like more attention than what it deserves. It's like you're not allowing yourself to see the treasure within it, and instead you're turning like a mountain out of what is it called? A mountain out of a molehill or something? Yeah, mountain out of a molehill. It's that same kind of vibe of like, you know, if you stumble, there's a hidden treasure there. But if you just sit there and say, oh my God, I stumbled, I can't get up, I stumbled, you're not going to be able to see the hidden treasure. And that's the vibe or the energy that's coming through right now. We also have the Angel of Healing, and it says, the angels have felt your sadness and have shown up today to send you healing. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read these two cards for you. And let's start with the Goddess of the Shadows. Realize that any perception or belief you have about yourself or others is actually a deception more than it is a perception. What you perceive to be your dark side or your shadow self, it holds a hidden treasure. As humans, we rarely see the full picture in any situation. Because we are forever stuck in the illusion of good and bad, you judge your positive and negative qualities and strive to be more of what you perceive to be positive while attempting to disown or neglect those aspects which you consider to be negative. By holding this belief, you fail to realize that all serves a purpose and that all benefits you in some way. Ooh, that last part though. Everything in our world is made up of positive and negative charges, which together make a whole. You have been guided to choose this card by your soul, because you are ready to move to the next level of conscious awareness. Over the coming months, you will find yourself questioning many of your long-held beliefs, and you will realize that many of them are simply illusions that only serve to keep you feeling small, inadequate, or restricted. This card heralds the start of a wondrous and empowering period of your life, which brings to the surface many beautiful experiences and opportunities which in the past you never thought were possible. Yes, I love that. All right, Angel of Healing. Let's see. It says, your angel of healing has felt your sadness and has shown up in your reading today to reflect healing light into your heart. Your angel wishes you to know that you are loved more than you can possibly imagine. Even though you feel alone and unloved at times, know that you are eternally loved. Whether you feel it or not, you are dearly loved and appreciated by many on this earth plane, as well as in the angelic realm. Close your eyes right now, place your hand upon your heart, and feel the healing light pour through you as you feel the presence of an angel. Feel yourself being breathed and supported by the universal life force of love. Imagine yourself glowing with light. Talk to your angel and ask anything you wish. Share anything you wish. You may communicate through writing or simply through thoughts and feelings. Doubt not that your angel exists. You will receive a positive sign or confirmation of some kind in the next few days, which will help you to both trust and believe. Interesting. So yeah, maybe even if you don't believe in angels, you could think of some other kind of divine energy and re-listen to that message and go through the steps of as it said here, and if you feel called to, and then wait and see what comes through in a writing, or what kind of synchronicities might pop up for you the next coming days. And if you do that, let me know down below what happens, and as some confirmation. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and pull a card from the Threads of Fate deck. Well, there we go, we got a card. Look at that, we have transmute. That's right. And the card that came out is nature. Ooh. And on the back, look at this, destruction. All right, I'm going to read the nature card. This could be a cue that if you are struggling to maybe get rid of that kind of heavy energy, or, you're not that we want to get rid of it, right? We can't just pretend it doesn't exist, but maybe if you're kind of stuck in it or feeling like it's tethered to your spirit in a way that's like to your detriment, not necessarily helping you or showing you areas that you need to work with, but instead you're just like really, really down on yourself. Nature could be a really beautiful thing right now to help you get up and out of that energy. And nature is a very natural, like, cleanser and great way to, I would say, just balance out our energy and our spirit. So if you're feeling called to that, definitely take that as a sign. So I'm going to go ahead and read this card for you, and whatever sticks out to you, pay attention to and leave the rest. And maybe you've already been kind of out in nature and feeling that need to be out in your body or in somewhere natural. Let me know down below where you've been going, if that relates to you, or where you might go if you haven't gone anywhere but are definitely feeling the call to go somewhere. Maybe you even have a trip planned. All of that could be a very strong confirmation for you. And some reason I can't find this card. It'll come up, I promise. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a great start to your September so far, or whatever time period is for you. If there's something specific you'd love for me to pull about or do a reading on, definitely let me know down below. And if there's something that resonates here, make sure to share it with a friend, and continue to keep the community growing and thriving. All right, I found it. Nature has a profound effect on our well-being. It increases creativity, relieves depression and anxiety, improves memory and focus, and rewires our stress response hormones. Studies have shown that even looking at photographs of nature can be of benefit. If you live in a place where you can easily access nature, spend some time this week to get out there. If you do not, think of some creative ways you can interact with nature from where you are. Whether that is sourcing local vegetables, plant medicine, or even spending time in a park, you can also create an altar using natural material, sticks, leaves, grasses, flowers, dirt, rocks, sand, or however you feel called. Beautiful. All right, last card I'm going to pull is from the Moon deck, and I will leave your reading there. Let's see what's the last message that wants to come out. Collaboration. Oh, I love this. This also came out for one of my readings this month for one of the clients, and the message was really especially about if you're feeling a little isolated or down on your luck, or just, struggling to get out of your own head or own thoughts, that it could be a little bit of a detriment to yourself. This could be a sign to get up and get out and try to collaborate with others. Maybe you're working really hard on something and need a second opinion on it, or maybe just call a friend and go out in nature for a walk. And especially if you're someone who tends to not reach out to others, this is definitely a sign to reach out to others if you're feeling called to. It says, collaboration brings visions to life and teaches us how to work with others to reach a common goal. We can pollinate the world with more beauty and abundance while learning skills of focus, cooperation, productivity, fellowship, and alchemy. The sacred bee is an impressive collaborator and brings vital nourishment into our lives. Bees work hard with incredible focus and cannot survive without their community and hive. They symbolize how the alchemic result of working together is a powerful process that transmutes something ordinary into something extraordinary. Collaboration is a supportive and necessary energy for you to connect with right now. It will open up new pathways and help you accomplish what may otherwise seem impossible while fostering more joy in the creative process. Open up, reach out, and create something sweet and magical with others. All right, y'all, that's it for this month's reading. I want to thank your guides, my guides, and the divine for this space today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if it resonated down below or what stuck out to you, or if there's another message that came through that I did not say. Let us know, because that definitely may resonate with someone else who watches this video. And I love reading those messages as well. Until next time, I will see you in the next video and talk to y'all later. Bye.